A young lady knocked on the CEO's cabin door. Inside, another young woman. You sat in a large office, tapping your fingers on the table. Nervousness was clearly visible on your face, as if you were waiting for someone. Just then you heard a knock. You looked up to see a guard standing at the door. "Come in," you said. "Leah, did you talk to them? When they will come?" "Ma'am, they aren't coming."
They aren't coming? But why? Ma'am, they have decided not to continue with the deal. What? How can they back out at the last moment? Is this a joke? Did you ask them the reason? Yes, ma'am, I asked them. What did they say? They said they don't want to do business with an unprincipled company that never completes its assignment on time. And that's it. You became restless after hearing Leah's word. So now Park Industry has to prove its time management. We have a strong record of completing our projects before the due date. Didn't you remind them that it's just a misleading rumor? You spoke, irritation creeping into your voice. A hint of anger and annoyance was visible on your face. Please call them. I will talk to them myself and ask what happened. I will tell you everything that you want to know. Just ask me, Cupcake. Your pupil dilated as a third person interrupted entering the cabin. Leah immediately bowed in respect while you were left in shock. Jungkook, what are you doing here? Smiked, well, who's going to be stop me from entering my own company, huh? You straightened your voice firm. The place where you are standing is my company, Park Industries, not John Private Limited. You retorted monotonously. Jungkook smirked. This company belongs to John Private Limited, just like its owner belonged to John Jungkook because of our relationship. And moreover, he continued, I have bought all the shares of this company. It is clearly enjoying how his word made you even more pissed off. We are no longer in a relationship. It would be better for you to leave. Jungkook raised an eyebrow. What if I don't? Without waiting for response, he walked over to the sofa and sat down, crossing his legs. His face held an unreadable smile, making it impossible to tell what he was thinking. After purchasing all the shares of your company, I am the owner now. So why would I leave? Jungkook smirked, your frown, anger rising. What nonsense are you talking about? No one can sell the shares without informing me. Wow, what a company owner. Doesn't even know what's happening inside your own company. Is that how you work as a CEO? So sad. He teased, clearly enjoying how his words provoked you. That was the last straw. You didn't have to feel sad for me, okay? And listen, it would be better for you to leave before I call my guards to throw you out. You snapped, your voice sharp. Jungkook smirked. Jungkook put his hand up in mock fear. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Please don't do this, please. What will people think that I got thrown out my own company? Then his expression shifted, and he let out a sarcastic laugh. Smirking, he leaned back. Glancing at Leah, he grinned mischievously. Go ahead, call them. I would love to see who throws out home. But until they get here, let's do something fun so we don't get bored. Wait, why not have Miss Leah tell us a story? Sir, me? Yes, please explain to her whatever happened in her absence. His tone was laced with amusement, a mysterious smile playing on his lips. Leah, what is he talking about? You turned to Leah, your patient wearing thin. Leah hesitated, her lips slightly parted, but no words came out. Leah, speak. You crowed, frustration growing. Leah hesitated before finally speaking. Ma'am, when you were not here, the old partners of our company came. They were very angry about the declining demand of our products. They wanted to talk to you, but since you weren't here, they left in frustration. And then the next day, Mr. Park informed us that Mr. John is now the new boss of our company because he has bought all the shares. Her voice trembled as she finished, unable to meet your gaze. So now that I own the majority of the shares, that makes me the boss here. Right, Miss Leah? Yes, sir. Jungkook smirked. Leah nodded, but lowered her head when she noticed you glaring at her angrily. Fear crept into her face. Sorry, ma'am, she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook leaned back casually. Miss Leah, you can go now. I will take care of the rest and explain everything to your boss. Oh, wait, my bad, your former boss. Leah waved respectfully before quickly leaving the room. Your jaw clenched as you grabbed your phone to call someone, but before you could dial, Jungkook chuckled. Who are you calling Cupcake? The police? He smirked. Let me save you the trouble. Even they can't help you anymore. But you ignored him and continued your work. Hello, Mr. David. Listen to me. My company will manage all the problems. Just don't cancel the deal, please. But what? How can you sell? Hello, Mr. David? The call disconnected, leaving you restless. Frustration boiled inside you, an overwhelming urge to scream just to release the tension before it consumed you. Jungkook clicked his tongue. Oh my cupcake, are you feeling bad? Then with a smirk he added, but do I care? Obviously not. He spoke in a cold voice, taking slow, deliberate steps towards you, smirking like a heartless man. Every word that left his lips was poisonous and pure hatred burned in his eyes. Fury ignited within you as you turned sharply, glaring at him without a second thought. You grabbed his collar, pulling him closer. Your eyes were red with anger and your breathing was fast and uneven as you struggled to contain the storm raging inside you. What do you think of yourself, huh? You tightened your grip on his collar. Why are you draining my business? Was it enough that you already ruined my life? What do you want now? To see how helpless I am? Jungkook's smirk vanished, his eyes darkening. You ruined me, Mrs. John. You destroyed my dreams because you forced me. You scoffed. Jungkook clenched his jaw, his voice rising. His voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. What did I do, huh? What did I do? Did I leave you? Did I divorce you? No, it was you who crushed my dreams, and now I will take my revenge. You let out a bitter laugh. Whoa, so now you want revenge on me. For what? For what you're. You stopped mid sentence, your words catching in your throat. Your grip on his collar loosened as realization hit you. Letting out a sarcastic laugh, you turned to leave, wanting to escape this suffocating moment. But before you could take another step, Jungkook grabbed you by the waist and slammed you against the wall. A gasp left your lips as his strong arms trapped you, his hand placed between the wall and your back, protecting you from the real harm. Jungkook, what are you doing? Leave me. You struggle against his hold. Jungkook, leave me. Your voice turned into a desperate yell. You pushed against his chest, but his grip was firm. Breathing heavily, you looked up at him, your eyes filled with frustration. I'm not built as powerfully as you. I can't fight you. You struggled to free yourself from his grasp, but instead of releasing you, Jungkook tightened his hold on your arms. His intense gaze locked onto yours, and for a moment everything else faded. The only thing you could hear was the sound of both of your heart beats pounding against the silence, but then something shifted. Jungkook's smirks disappeared as he noticed you breathing becoming uneven, too fast, too shallow. Wyan, his voice held a rare hint of concern, his grip loosened slightly, but it was too late. A wave of dizziness crashed over you, and before you could fight it, your vision blurred, your body gave in, everything went dark. Jungkook's breath hissed, his heart dropping as he crouched you before you could collapse. It felt as if his soul had just left his body. Wyan, babe. Hey, wake up. Babe, don't scare me like this. Babe, please wake up. Oh God, doctor. He blurted out worriedly, his voice trembling as anxiety took over him. Without wasting a second, he scooped you up in his arms and gently laid you down on the sofa. His hand shook slightly as he grabbed a water bottle from the table, quickly splashing a few drops onto your face. But his worst fear came true. You didn't move. Your eyes remained shut, your body still panic surged through him. The man who had been consumed by rage just a moment ago was now utterly terrified. Seeing you like this sent a fear through him he had never felt before. Leah came running inside, her heart pounding as in panic as she saw a group of doctors rushing towards your cabin. Outside the building, several ambulances were lined up, their light flashing, while a team of doctors hurried around the CEO's office. Jungkook stood outside your cabin, pacing back and forth, his usual confidence replaced with restless anxiety. His fingers ran through his hair repeatedly, frustration and worry evident on his face. Meanwhile, every female employee watched the scene unfold, jealousy evident in their eyes, seeing the way Jungkook cared for you. The desperation in his action only fueled their envy. Even in moments like this, his love for you was undeniable. After a while, the doctor stepped out of the cabin and Jungkook immediately ran to her. Doctor, how is my wife now? He spoke in one breath as if you were important to him than even breathing. Mr. Jones, she is alright. She had a panic attack due to excessive stress, but don't worry, she is fine now. The doctor gave him a reassuring look. The doctor gave a smile but quickly grew confused at Jungkook's next question. And how is the baby? His voice wavered slightly, betraying the nervousness. The doctor frowned. The doctor frowned. Baby, I think you're mistaken, Mr. John. Your wife isn't pregnant. Jungkook's heart skipped a beat, his brow frowned as he took a step closer. Are you sure, doctor? He asked, needing to confirm that he heard her correctly. Yes, Mr. John, she is just weak due to not eating properly. Make sure she eats on time and takes care of herself. Jungkook let out a small breath of relief and nodded. Okay, thank you so much, doctor. It's my duty. She gave him a polite smile before walking away, leaving Jungkook standing there, still deep in thoughts. You woke up with a heavy head, your vision still slightly blurry. As you blinked, you saw Jungkook staring at you, concern evident in his eyes. Babe, are you okay? Are you feeling any pain or discomfort? Wan woke up feeling heavy head when she saw Jungkook staring at her. Wan, you okay? Are you feeling pain or uneasiness? Don't show me your fake concern like you care for me the most, Wan said when some tears left from Jungkook sighed, his voice soft yet heavy, but the emotion. Why you don't like me, that's okay, but at least don't hurt yourself because of me. Hurt, huh? Do you even know the meaning of that word? You scoffed, shaking your head. The person telling me not to hurt myself is the one who hurt me the most. You let out a bitter laugh. Your eyes filled with pain. Your voice trembled. Your worried pain finally resurfacing. I thought after marriage my husband would stand by my side, even if the whole world turned against me, but no, a single tear escaped your eyes as you met his gaze. He was the first one to leave me. You blurted out whatever came to your mind, unable to hold back the emotion that had been bottled up for so long. Jungkook took a shaky breath, his voice breaking as he spoke. You still have your husband, you just have to believe me. His eyes held so much hope, as if he was desperate for another chance. You let out a sarcastic laugh, your heart clenching at his word. Believe you? Your voice was laced with anger, with pain. When I was begging you to believe me, did you? Jungkook flinched at your words, but you didn't stop. Then why should I? You snapped, fury
rising as past memories came rushing back, hitting you like a storm you could never escape. Jungkook took a deep breath, his voice trembling as he spoke. I know I would have believed you if you have told me the truth. His hands clenched into fist as he looked at you, his eyes dark with pain. I told you I would if you left me, but still you decided to give me a divorce. His voice rose slightly, filled with raw emotion, as if he was trying to make you understand that the pain he endured was no less than yours. You shook your head, eyes burning with unshed tears. I begged you, Jungkook, I begged you, saying that I didn't cheated on you. Your voice cracked, your breath hitching. If you wanted, you could have tested my. You stopped yourself, your throat tightening, feeling humiliated even at the thought of defending yourself like this. Jungkook froze, swallowing hard, his face burned with disgust himself when he saw the raw pain flashing in your eyes. You clenched your fist, your voice trembling with the weight of your emotion. I didn't care about my self-respect because I knew you were right in your own way. But did you care about me? No, so now bear it. Jungkook breathed hissed as he stared at you, his voice barely above a whisper. And that's why you left me. You looked straight into his eyes, anger and heartbreak mixing in your gaze. Yes, you spat because you didn't believe me. Instead, you gave me an option to choose between you or the baby. Jungkook took a shaky breath, his voice barely above a whisper. And you choose the baby. You froze, tears welled up in your eyes, but you refused to let them fall. I Words failed as you looked down, unable to meet his gaze. Tears rolled down your cheeks, but you bite your lip, trying to suppress the sob threatening to escape. You had promised yourself you won't break in front of him. With a trembling voice, you finally spoke. Will you believe me if I say I wasn't pregnant? It's I. Jungkook's eyes widened slightly, his heart pounding. Hana was pregnant. You gave a small note before finally breaking down. The weight of everything, the misunderstanding, the pain, the separation became too much to bear. So wrecked your body as you covered yourself, no longer having the strength to hold yourself together. Jungkook's jaw clenched as realization hit him like a thunderbolt. That means what I suspected was true, he muttered, his voice laced with guilt and disbelief. Both were married months ago in an arranged marriage set up by your parents. You had asked for some time to get comfortable with him, and he had agreed. It had been more than 3 months since your marriage, and gradually you began to grow closer to each other. Your feelings deepened and was ready to confess your feeling to him and hope to start a family together, but his happiness was shattered when he found a report in your cupboard. In that moment, it felt like all of his dream had collapsed right in front of his eyes. Jungkook, what are you doing in my cupboard? Your voice held a mix of confusion and frustration, but as you looked into his tear-filled eyes, your breath hissed something was terribly wrong. Jungkook stood frozen, holding the pregnancy report in his trembling hands. His eyes were lost in the words printed on the paper, his mind clouded with disbelief. Tears streamed down his face, his heart sinking deeper with each passing second. Then just walked in and immediately noticed the paper in his hand. Panic surged through you as you rushed towards him, snatching the report away. Your heart ached at the sight before you. For the first time you saw John Jungkook, the feared mafia king, crying. His usually fierce and unreadable eyes were now filled with pain and desperation. But you forced yourself to ignore it, pushing aside the lump forming in your throat. You tried once again to snatch the paper from his grip, only to fail. Jungkook tightened his hold on the report, his hand trembling slightly. His voice was barely above a whisper, yet it carried the weight of his breaking heart. Just say this isn't true. He looked at you with pleading eyes, bracing himself for the heartbreak. he feared was inevitable. You stayed silent, your lips slightly parted, but no words came out. You didn't know what to say. Jungkook breathing grew heavier, his grip on the paper tightening. Your silence only fueled the storm brewing inside him. His eyes darkened, a mix of pain, fury, and betrayal flashing through them. You cheated on me. His voice was laced with disbelief, his hands shaking as he took a step back. He let out a bitter laugh, his heart twisting in agony. Wait, you were with someone. That's why you weren't with me, right? His words cut deep, filled with anger and sorrow. The thought alone was enough to break him completely. Jungkook, please, it's not what you are thinking. Please listen to me first. You whispered, your voice shaking as you took a hesitant step towards him, but he stepped back, his eyes once filled with warmth and love for you, now held nothing but pain and betrayal. You betrayed me. You ruined everything. Jungkook, please. You pleaded. Just give some time. I will tell you everything. At least just trust me. Jungkook let out a bitter cough, his jaw clenching as he stared at you with red tear-filled eyes. Trust you, even after seeing this? He held up the report, his hands shaking, his chest heaved as he stepped closer, his voice breaking. He coughed, shaking his head in disbelief. Your heart pounded. You wanted to explain, to tell him truth, but you knew the truth will just make it more worse. Why did you do this to me? His voice cracked, his chest rising and falling rapidly. His words hit you like a dagger. He had never looked at you like this before, so broken, so lost. Tears blurred your vision. Jungkook, it's not what you think, I swear. Your voice cracked, but you refused to give up. But he let out a bitter laugh, running a hand through his hair, and at that moment you realized he didn't trust you anymore. Why did you do this to me? His voice echoed through the room, filled with nothing but pain, betrayal, and heartbreak. Jungkook had loved you with everything he had, but now it felt like his entire world had crumbled. Jungkook's furious shout echoed through the mansion, making Mrs. John rush towards your room. Hannah followed closely behind, concern evident on her face the moment she stepped inside and saw the crumbled pregnancy report in Jungkook's trembling hand. Her breath hissed. She understood everything. But she stayed silent not because she didn't want to speak, but because you had silently gestured her to not to say anything. The tension in the room was unbearable, but things took turn for the worse when Jungkook's elder brother Jack and his wife Suzy also entered. After hearing the commotion, their eyes darted between you and Jungkook, then to the paper in his hand. What's going on here, Jungkook? Is everything okay between you two? Jack asked after seeing the tension between two of you. But Jungkook didn't hear him. As his all attention was fixed on you, Mrs. Jeon quickly snatched the paper from Jungkook's hands, her eyes scanning the words in disbelief. Her voice trembled as she read aloud. The room fell silent for a moment, the weight of her words sinking in. Jack let out a small confused chuckle. What? Then why are you all angry? Jungkook, you should be happy. But before he could finish, Suji snapped, her eyes narrowing and realization hit her. 3 months. She paused, her gaze snapping towards you, her lip curled into a disgust smile. Wait a minute, that's when she was before marriage. Her voice dripped with accusation as she stared at you with pure judgment, making your stomach churn. You felt suffocated, disgusted, and completely alone. Your hands clenched into fist as the weight of their stares bore down on you. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. Ryan, is this Jungkook's child? Her voice was soft, filled with fury, but you remained silent, unable to gather the strength to respond. I can't believe this. The girl I choose for my son turned out to be this shameless. Her words cut deep, making you already fragile heart shattered. Further, Mom, but Hannah, what are you doing here? Go to your room. Her harsh tone made Hannah flinch, but she hesitated, glancing at you with concern. She could see the pain in your eyes, but before she could say anything, Mrs. John Clare silenced him. Reluctantly, she turned away, face clenched. She wanted to fight for you, but she wasn't strong enough to go against her mother. Whose child is this? Do you even know who the father is? Or did you just. Mom, please stop. Your voice trembled, eyes brimming with unshed tears. How can you say such things about your own daughter in law? Your heart clenched in pain, desperately washing over you as you looked at the woman who once treated you like her own daughter. How did everything change so drastically? Oh, so you can do things, but I can't say them out loud. Wow. Her sarcastic tone made your chest tighten with pain. Mom, please don't make this more complicated. His voice was strained as if himself was struggling to process everything. What? Before she could argue further, Jack stepped in. Mom, Jungkook is right. This is about their relationship. Let them decide. The tension in the room was suffocating, but you took breath finally. At least someone was willing to let you and Jungkook handle it instead of turning it into a public humiliation. Are you crazy? How can I accept someone else in? Her voice was filled with anger and disappointment, making the tension in the room unbearable. Mom, please, I said stop. His voice cracked slightly, filled with frustration and exhaustion. He then turned to you, his eyes dark and unreadable. And you, come to me the day you decided to tell me the truth. With that, he walked out in rage, leaving you standing there frozen one by one. The others followed their disgusted stares, piercing through you like knives. The room that once felt like home now felt like a prison, cool, empty, and suffocating. It had only been 2 weeks, but living in your in law's house was becoming unbearable for you. Even though no one openly said anything out of fear of Jungkook, their disgusted stares were enough to make you feel restless and anxious. Every glance felt like a silent accusation, a reminder of the humiliation you were forced to endure. Unable to take it longer, you made a firm decision. Gathering your things, you left and went to a parent's house where your mother was already aware of everything. For the first time in days, you finally felt like you could breathe. Leaving me was easy for you instead of just telling me the truth. His voice was lashed with bitterness, his eyes searching yours for an answer. You already believed in you. No, it wasn't easy, but I didn't have any other choice. Jungkook, you weren't ready to understand my situation. Your voice cracked slightly, the weight of the past pressing down on you. If only he had listened back then, if only he had been different. You spoke with disappointment last in your voice, making Jungkook feel a wave of guilt wash over him. Until everything was settled, I decided to hide her pregnancy. I took her to Yomma's hospital so she wouldn't face any trouble or suspicion and wrote my name on her reports. I just wanted to protect her. Your voice cracked slightly as you recalled those days, how you had tried to shield Suho from the world only for everything to spiral out of control. But I didn't know that in trying to protect them, I would ended up in trouble myself. I just wanted to see them happy together. Jungkook took a deep breath, his gaze softening. You wanted them to be together? His voice was quieter this time, filled with sincerity. His deep eyes searched yours, trying to find the truth you had hidden for so long. It is possible? Can you end this rivalry with him? You asked with hope shining in your eyes, your voice almost trembling with anticipation. Jungkook held your gaze, his expression soft yet determined. If my queen wishes, I can surrender my life to her. Ending a rivalry is nothing compared to that. His words carried weight, filled with unwavering devotion. For the first time in a long while, you saw the Jungkook you once believed in, the man who would do anything for love. His voice was low, almost pleading. Now you can please come back home with me. It's getting hard to breathe in that house, the same room where I lived all these years, the same place where I always found you waiting for me. But now when I walk in and you are not there, it feels like I am losing my breath. His eyes held a pain that mirrored your own. The walls you had built around your heart threatened to crumble. I will come with you, but only if you promise me one thing. Just come on. Then promise me that in the future, if you ever have doubt or question, you will wait for my answer. If I ask you to wait, you will trust me no matter what you see or hear. You will never believe in someone else's words until I have the chance to explain myself. Promise me that because of misunderstanding, you will never again force me to choose between you and anything else, because to me, you are priceless. Jungkook gazed into your eyes, his own filled with regret, love, and unspoken plea for forgiveness. He took a deep breath before gently holding your hands in his. I promise, my love, never again. I won't let misunderstanding break us. I will trust you no matter what. I will wait for your words, your truth, because losing you once was already unbearable. Then promise me that in the future you will never hide anything from me. The secrets, no misunderstanding, no more hide and seek. He looked at you with pleading eyes, his voice less with desperation. Not again. I can't make that mistake again because you took a shaky breath, your eyes glistening with unshed tears. I can't imagine myself breathe without you ever again.